All right, so this is section 3.2, and this is all about finding zeros of the functions. Okay, so if f of x is a polynomial function, then the values of x for which f of x equals 0 are called the zeros of the function. Okay, called the zeros of the function. So the way that we're going to find them is I'm going to give you a function. I'm going to say find the zeros. So you're going to set your polynomial equal to 0 and solve. All right, so this should look very familiar. You've been doing this for a while. Okay, you're going to factor and then use the zero product rule. Okay, so this is an easy trinomial. You have x and you have x. So you're looking for the factors of 15 that add to give you 2. Your signs are different. And the factors that are going to give you 2 are 5 and 3. And you want your 2 to be negative. So your bigger number is going to get the negative. Okay. Then you take each, set them equal to 0. That's the zero product rule. X equals 5 and x equals negative 3. All right, so your zeros of the function are 5 and negative 3, okay? Should not be too different than what we've already been doing. You just were factoring that trinomial. So what I'm saying is that if I plugged in 5, I would get 0. If I plugged in negative 3, I would also get 0. Those are the zeros of the function, okay? So this says find all zeros for the function. All right, so we're going to set it equal to 0. 0 equals x cubed plus 2x squared minus 4x minus 8. All right, this is not a trinomial. This has 4 terms, and 4 terms should immediately tell you to group. Okay, you should remember that. I'm going to group those 2 terms and these 2 terms. And I'm going to find the greatest common factor of the blue and of the pink. Greatest common factor of the blue is x squared. And I'm left with x plus 2. And I'm going to bring down my negative or my minus sign and do the same thing with the pink. It's going to be 4, and I'm left with x plus 2 in my parentheses, okay? What is in my parentheses is the same. So I get x plus 2 and x squared minus 4. Okay, x squared minus 4 is special. That's the difference of 2 squares, right? So we have x plus 2. This is the difference of 2 squares. Okay, so we have x plus 2, x minus 2. Okay, we took the square root of x squared and got x. That's where these blanks came from. The x, we took the square root of 4 and got 2, and that's where those came from. One gets a plus, one gets a minus. All right, you should remember that. All right, so now we have x plus 2 is equal to 0, x plus 2 is equal to 0, and I know that I'm accounting for that twice. I'm doing it on purpose. So we get x equals negative 2, x equals negative 2, and x equals 2. All right, so our answer is negative 2, negative 2, and 2. Now, why did I put negative 2 twice? Okay, there's this thing called the multiplicity. The multiplicity is how many times an answer appears okay, how many times an answer appears. Okay, so negative 2 has multiplicity 2. It showed up twice. And 2 has multiplicity 1. It showed up one time. Okay, so we do account for both. But this would be our answer. That is supposed to be negative. You probably caught it. There it goes. All right, so here's some more. Find all zeros and indicate the multiplicity of each. So you just want what makes these 0, okay? That's all you want to know. What do I have to plug in for x to make them 0? Okay, so on this one, you're going to take each set and put it equal to 0. So this, just this, and this, and this, okay? So you're going to say 3 equals 0, x plus 5 equals 0, x plus 2 equals 0, x minus 8 equals 0. Okay, so just what was inside my parentheses, all right? So you have 3 equals 0. Okay, well, that's not true. 3 does not equal 0. That is a false statement. So you ignore it, you cross it out. X plus 5, you get x equals negative 5. X plus 2, you get x equals negative 2. X minus 8, you get x equals 8. Now I need to worry about the multiplicity. The multiplicity is going to be your exponents. All right, because that is how many copies of each of those sets of parentheses that we're going to have, right? That is how many copies that we have. Okay, this one has a 1. It's raised to the 1 power. If there's nothing written, it's raised to the 1 power. So this multiplicity is 1. This one is 4. This one is 8. This one is 11. My fault. I'll stop messing up here in a second. All right. So I guess this, I'll circle the answer so you'll know what to write. This will be our answer. Okay. All right, let's look at this one. Same thing. We're gonna set that. Those parts equal to 0. So we have 5x equals 0. X minus 7 equals 0, and x plus 1 equals 0. So we're going to divide by 5. 0 divided by anything is just 0. We're going to get 7 and negative 1, okay? Now we need to do multiplicity. Again, it's just your exponents, right? If it doesn't have anything, it's a 1. So we have multiplicity 1, multiplicity 1, and multiplicity 10. Okay, so that is your answer. Whoops, I'll highlight it. Okay, so not too bad, right? We are just setting things equal to 0. If I ask you for the multiplicity, it's the power, because that's how many copies we're going to have of that set of parentheses. Or I could give you one where we're grouping, so you're doing the 0 product rule, or just a trinomial, all about finding the zeros of the polynomial.